sedition, insurrection, a threat to democracy.
This city is under siege. They are now calling it an occupation.
Alarming situation there in Ottawa.
The police chief is calling it a nationwide insurrection driven by madness.
This is kind of our insurrection by air horn moment. I think it's part of the globalization of Trumpism.
Canadians know where I stand.
There hasn't been as much violence as some had perhaps projected, but that does not necessarily mean that it has been peaceful.
Reports of severe vandalism and criminal behavior.
Streets are clogged. The honking is incessant and deafening.
This pandemic has sucked for all Canadians.
Residents that I have spoken to who say they feel terrorized, intimidated. Residents say they feel like hostages. Residents in that area say that they are being held hostage, that this freedom convoy, as they call it, has essentially imposed a lockdown on them.
Some protesters harassed a soup kitchen.
These anti-vaxxers actually took food from the mouths of the homeless.
Hungry, yeah.
Because they're so put upon.
There have not been any violent outbursts. However, horns have been honking for 12 to 21 hours a night.
The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing.
Many of them are holding Confederate flags.
I've heard there's QAnon supporters in the crowd.
We've seen swastikas. We've seen the Confederate flag. We've seen flags with Justin Trudeau, our prime minister, in a noose. Lots of Donald Trump flags as well. People chanting, "Let's go, Brandon."
There's actually one of the rare times in history you're going to see swastikas and yellow stars at the same protest.
A few people shouting and waving swastikas does not define who Canadians are.
Ottawa is being besieged by a group of anti-do-anything-about-COVID truckers called the Freedom Convoy. A so-called Freedom Convoy.
So-called Freedom Convoy of truckers. It's a cult.
Yes, it is.
We've heard it called a nationwide insurrection.
A threat to democracy, an insurrection, sedition.
This is a moment for responsible leaders to think carefully about where they stand and who they stand with.
I don't even know where to begin. Just hearing the mainstream media news talk the way that they are talking, I'm at a loss for words. They are trying to paint a picture for the people that are tuned into this news, that the people that are protesting the mandates are evil and that they're not good. Somebody wrote a comment in one of my videos that said, it was a Bible verse, that when good becomes evil and evil becomes good. It's true. They are trying to turn the good people evil by defamating their image in every way possible. How is it allowed that BLM protests, shutting down pastors and preachers, and all the rioting that happened before during the George Floyd incident was actually okay? The politicians and the news media was actually agreeing with it. So destroying buildings, setting things on fire, and actually hurting people was okay, right? Defund the police. You guys remember all that shit? It was crazy. And now you have a shit ton of people peacefully, for the most part. I haven't seen anything bad. If you have, please put links in the comments. But I haven't seen anything bad. And yet you have these fucking idiots, the mainstream media news, saying that the trucker convoy, some of the people stole food from the homeless. We're supposed to believe that? I mean, it's just insanity what these people, the lengths that they're going through to classify you as a freedom fighter, you that supports freedom, as evil. But don't be surprised, because this was bound to happen. They have to create the image of you being an insurrectionist, somebody that doesn't believe the same way that they believe. Because if you don't think like them, then you are not with them, and you can't be like us. Well, you know what? A lot of people don't want to be like you. We don't want to be in this cult of vaccination. We don't want to be in this religion of COVID, because that's what it is. It's just funny to me how if you believe COVID, you get sick. You don't believe COVID, you don't get sick. Look at all these fucking truckers. No mask, nothing. Everybody's mingling with each other, and there's no medical crisis. Think about it. Ottawa is not having a medical crisis. Why? If COVID was so real and so deadly, the Ottawa hospitals would be fucking slammed with the truckers. So the news can come out and say, oh, you see, look, COVID's real, all the truckers are getting sick. Not happening. But what they're doing is saying that you're an insurrectionist, meaning you are not with us, so you are deemed bad. Guys, do not be with them. The picture is so much more bigger than what we currently see. There are a lot of moving parts to this. This is just one part, this freedom convoy. But the end game, like I've been saying, is to have you vaccinated. And they are going to do a lot of other things to force you into vaccination. They're going to strip you of your food. They're going to strip you of your water. And they're going to strip you of your ability to get food and water. And how they're going to do that is limit it and raise the price. And in the mix of all of that going on, with the rumors of war and the rumors of famine and real famine and blah, 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 guess what? If you want food, if you want water, if you want safety, if you want protection, if you want money, you got to get what? The vaccine. That's exactly where it's going. And if you don't see it by now, honestly, it's going to be too late. There are people that are going to be asleep all the way up until the moment until they're dead. They won't even know what's going on. But if these people have it their way, they will be at your doorstep. They literally will be at your doorstep. And you better know what to do. Because I know what I'm going to do. And actually, I kind of hope they come to my fucking door. But this is what they want. They want to paint a picture of, if you like freedom and you don't like mandates, they're going to paint you as a Trumper. They're going to paint you as this insurrectionist, evil guy that, they want to hurt people because they don't want to get vaccinated. They are fucking psychopaths. They are sociopaths. They are literally insane. The people that are running this world. And they don't want good for you. In my humble opinion, the only reason why they haven't really fully implemented their plan is because we still have guns. So they have to keep this rhetoric up. They have to keep painting you as this evil person that likes freedom. Insurrectionists, if you haven't noticed, they keep using that terminology, right? Why? Because they have to make you legally a domestic terrorist. They have to make you part of a terrorist group that they put you in, even though you're not. You're not a terrorist. You're not an evil person. You're not doing anything bad. But guess what? The news, the media, the law, the politicians, they are going to force you into that group, which gives them the ability to do whatever the fuck they want.